好，各位亲爱的网友朋友，大家好。
Hello, my dear friends.
今天呢是我们念佛班的第
Today
二天。
is day
趁这
2
个
of this
佛陀
chanting
圣
class.
诞的殊胜的
At
日子，
this auspicious
我们在这里
occasion
念佛
of
呢，
Buddha's
对我们会
birthday,
帮助特别
and
大。
we chant,
我
it
们每个
will
人
help us
每个参与者一
dramatically.
定会感
Every
到佛法。
participant will be bathing in
在
Buddha
经典里
light.
就是这样说。
In the
我
sutra,
们
it's
真诚
already
念佛名号依
indicated.
据，
When we
就
chant
能消
one
若凡
time
事若凡事的
Buddha's
这个
sacred
重大
name,
的罪
it
业。
will help to eliminate
连
many,
续念
many
好几天的话，
lives
效
of
果
our
一
bad
定是非常
karmas.
好。
If we continue to
我们希望
chant
说未
several
来
days, it
未
will
来
be
的
very,
未来
very
我们
helpful,
想往
extremely
生
helpful. Say, for
这个极乐
example,
世界
if you want
我
to,
们是西方极乐世界
I mean, in the
东方极乐
future,
世
when we
界
leave this world, we
往
want
生
to
天国
be guided to the
还
Pure
是
Land,
比较
whether
容
it's
易的，
Eastern
比
Pure
较
Land or
方便的。
Western Pure Land. It would be
在
very
佛法
easy.
修行之中啊，其实有很多
In
不同的门
the
派
practice
不同的层
of
次
the Buddhist
我在这里呢
Dharma, there are
希
many
望
different
我们大
schools.
家在这个
So
这次
here,
念佛班之中，每
in
个人
this
都
chanting
收到
class,
一
I
定的
hope
在
everyone
我们身
will
身体
receive
和心灵上的一些效果。
some
就是说
benefits,
未来往生
including
极乐世
physical
界，
benefits
这是我们未
and
来的最高的一个东
mental
西。
and spiritual
那我们
benefits.
在活在人
To
世
be
间呢，
guided to the Pure
我
Land
非
when we
常
leave
盼
this
望
world,
大
of course,
家
that's a very,
健康快
you know,
乐，
that's
如意
a
吉祥，
future goal. And right now
这个
in our life, I
在
hope
健
everyone
康的
will have
活
good
着的这个过程，
fortune, your wishes will be
健健康康
granted,
的，
and you'll be
不要得病，
healthy. Don't
不
get
要有
sick.
灾难。
Don't have any
每个人呢
disasters.
不需要人伺候，
Everybody
这个是
can
最重要的。
look after themselves and don't need to be served. So
嗯
these are
为
very
了让大家
important
出现一
in
些
order
比较
for
确定的
everyone
一些
to
念佛
see
加持之
very
后的效果。
clearly
所以
the
我们在网
benefits
上可以说
after the
有下载
chanting
下载那
and
个
uh,
叫健康指
chanting
标
and
记录的
healings.
一个
We have
一个
an
单
health
啊，
condition
那
record.
上头呢就会介
This
绍到
form
一
you
些
can download.
我们身体
And
的
on
健康
this
指
health
数，
condition
或者一
download
些
record,
形象的自我健
there
康。
are
那
different
你
numbers
自
that
己
you
呢去
need
填
to
好了，或者去
fill
照相
in. You need
啊，这
to
就比较清楚我们哪些
fill
变
in
化。
some of the
比如说视力
conditions
呀，
and maybe take a
啊，
picture,
这个
like
腿脚的灵活度呀，
to
啊，
record
还
your
有
current visions,
面色
the
呀，
agility
啊，
right now,
眼神呐，
and your
这个
complexion right
对，还有这
now.
个手掌，手掌其实要
Also,
拍
your
细一点哈，
palms.
就
Actually,
是
you need to
拍
take
这
a
个
clearer
手掌
picture
长得
of
比
your
较平
palm.
面啊，
Sometimes
哎，
maybe your palm
还
is
有
very
呢是这
flat,
个就是拍到
or
这个指甲，手
and
的背
also
面
you need
手
to
指甲，
take picture of your nails.
因为有一些朋友哈，
Some
他这
people,
个身体形象之中有些有问题，自己也不知道。
sometimes they have
比如
some
说
issues, but they
哦，
didn't
手上的
notice.
指甲，
Say, for example, their
有些
nails.
那个指甲得了病自己不知道，
Some has
有人
already
灰指
had
甲，
illnesses
或
that
者
they
被
didn't
这
know
个
and they
某
didn't
种
even
病菌
notice.
感染，
Say, for example,
自己不清楚， 有的一直处于红肿
yeah,
或
maybe
者
they
溃
had
烂啊，时间久了之后呢，就变
onychomycosis
成
and they
长期的
didn't
疾病
know, and
啊，
maybe
还
they
需要这个
but
早修炼，
if
早
it
治疗。
lasts, then it could
那
cause
么还
bigger
有呢，就是指
problems. So
甲
you
呢
need to
会出现那
try
个
to cure that as
各
early
种
as
状况。
possible. And
你看我见
sometimes,
过有指甲往下塌陷的，
well,
塌
actually,
陷
I've
的，
seen some people's
还有指
nails
甲
are
呢
actually
是大概平的，
dented,
并且
and
两面
some
往上翘，
have very
然后还这样的指甲
flat, but
啊，
then
平
the
的往
side of
往
it
两面
will
翘。
be sticking
还有
out,
一种
or
呢，它有很
um,
多条条，很明
and
显的
some of them,
啊，
their nails will
像刀
have
刮的竹
many
竿一样
stripes,
啊，一
like
条一条的那个
it
格格。
looks like those
嗯，
bamboos, you know,
对，
they
还有
have
里头
these stripes
就是我们
on
这个指
the
甲的
side, and
啊，最靠近肉的顶端那个部分，也可以有个
also
白色小月亮。
usually
有的人就没有，
we have
我们以
a
图
little
片的
bit
方法，
of like a
说的时候
crescent
你如果有图
on
片
the
展示
nail,
一下，朋友，我
on
的
the
不这么累，
side of the
大家不知道
nail
我
that
在说
is
啥，
close to
会有图片来显示一
close
下。
to, you know, the
指
finger.
甲，
Yeah,
哎，
maybe we should
指
show
甲
you the
上有这些
picture
问
so
题
you know
哈。
what I'm talking
哎，
about.
我们一个健康的指甲呢，上面有个小
So
月牙，
a very healthy nail would
看有
have
健康的指甲的图片
like a moon crescent on top of the
对了，
nail.
大
Yeah.
看这个图片
So
啊，
just
其实
look
底
at
下的
this
颜色特
picture.
别好。
First of
另外
all,
呢，
the color of the
它
nail
靠
is
指甲
very
上
good.
端的部分
And
呢，
secondly,
上端
on
就接近
top
肉
of
的
the
那个部
nail,
分，
which is
它是有
close
一个
to
白色的一个小一
the
个细的
finger,
小
there's
段
a
哈，
very
我们简称小月牙哈。
narrow
它有这个是好
kind
的。
of curve,
这个
which
气色也比
is
较好。
like a
那么
crescent.
还有的指甲就没有这个月牙，
Some nails, they
没有
don't
月牙
have
怎么样
these
呢？那就可
crescents.
能也是好。
Maybe
只是可能
without
也是好。
the
那这
crescent,
个
maybe
其
it's
实人类可能有不
good,
同品
but
种啊，
maybe
这个
human
它
beings,
就
there are
没
different
月牙，
kinds of people. They
白
just
天
don't
生的啊，
have these. Or maybe they're
这可能
born.
没月牙啊。
Grandmaster
在
is
这个
just
上
joking,
头
maybe
刚
born
才
in the
看这个图
daytime.
片，它们有斑点，
Also,
指甲上
some
面
nails, they
再看
have
看。
some white dots or some different dots on the nails.
哎，这个就是明显的斑点。
Yeah, like this one. Very,
我们简
you
单
can
说，
very
有
clearly
明显的
see
斑点呢，
these
指甲
dots
上
on the
有
nails.
可能就
So
是身体比较缺钙，
it probably
缺
indicates
钙，
that you
或者
have
是
calcium
肚子里头有
deficiency,
寄生虫，
or
这就是有可能
yeah,
会被
or
医学来说会
maybe
怀疑到这个问题。
you have some kind
哎，这
of
当然这个手也比较苍
paris-
白，
parasite.
有的肤色比较苍白呢，其实
If
小心
your
各种各样的
skin
疾病。
is also
它就是
pale,
说指甲呢
then
容易开裂，
it could also be
容易
parasites.
裂开，
And some nails
啊，
are very
当然
easily
容易裂开的
cracked.
程度每个人不一样，有
It's,
的
you know,
特
it
别特别容
depends.
易裂
Different
开，
people
就好像很
are different. So some people are very
容易就撕
easily
开了
to
啊。
break
那
their
那这
nails.
种呢，
And so
会被
these
怀疑
kind of
可能
nails,
是
if you have
这
these kind
个
of
肝功
nails,
能不太好，
we would suspect
啊，
that
被怀
your
疑为肝功能不太好。
liver doesn't
那这
function
个
very
通过
well.
修炼，
And
通
through
过恰当的饮
practices,
食，
through
或者
proper
是
diet,
八卦哈，
and
就可能
through
会有所变化。
practicing energy Bagua, you might see the difference.
那么当然也有人就是可
There
能
are also
突然
people,
之间有
you know, suddenly
脱掉指甲，就指甲掉落，
they
啊，
their nails will
突然
fall
掉很
off,
多牙齿，
or they
掉很多
will
头
lose
发，
their
啊，
teeth,
这些
or
都是有问题。
maybe lose a lot of hair.
啊，这些问题
That
是
indicates
如果
those
你没
all
有
indicates
有癌症
problems.
被化疗的
If
话，
you
它就
haven't
会出
had
现。
any
那你想化疗才可能出这
you
个
you
问题。
didn't had cancer and didn't had
那你
chemo,
没有这些问
then
题，可是突然
if you
出现了
didn't
这个
do
症
any
状的时候，
chemotherapy and
这
you
个问题
suddenly
就
have
大
these kind of
啊，
symptoms,
有点害
then
怕，
the problem is
对，
a
有
little
可能
bit
会你的
frightening.
身
It
体
could
迅速的衰
be
败，
that your
能量
body
一
is
下子降到
decaying
零了，
really
或者
quickly
是
and your energy
还有一种
is
现象，这些人呢
decreasing to
会
zero, or
经
yeah,
常会怀
actually
疑自己
decreasing very
这
quickly.
个能量不
And
足了，
some people, you know,
啊，
they always
他就吃
suspect
些
that
大补
they
药，但
are
是呢
lack of
吃的过
energy,
多
so they took
啊，
too
这
much
是物极必反。
nutrition.
当
And you
补
know,
过了之后，人就没能量，
sometimes if you
哎，所以
take
吃大补药的人哈，
nutrition to
一不
this
小心可能
to an
牙齿掉光，
extent, then it could go to
啊，
the
头发
other
眉毛
stream,
掉光，
other
或者有可
extreme,
能会脱落
and
指
so
甲。
they might lose hair
当
or
然，体内寄生虫
nails.
对
Also,
指甲的侵害也是
parasites.
很严重的。
If you have parasites, that will
对，
hurt
那
your
还有
nails
就
a
是
lot.
我们这个说到手嘛，像手掌的气色，
We're talking about
那这
palms,
个手
so
掌上的
the
颜色也
complexion
发
of
乌发青色
the
的时候，
palms,
发
if it
青色的
is
时候，
very dark
就
or bluish
有
kind
可
of,
能就
then
是
this
不足，
indicates that your lack of qi
还
or
有严重的感染的问题。
the blood circulation is
或者
not good,
是
or maybe very serious infection, or
有受到这个冰寒之气的
maybe
这个
you
侵
have
扰，
been affected
寒气太
or
盛，
invaded by
哎，
icy
比如说
cold
年轻人
qi.
爱喝
Say
那
for
种
example, young people,
甜
they
的，
like
我
to
们加了很多
drink
冰块儿的那种的
some sweet drinks
冲喝饮
with
料哈。
with
我在看，
ice.
比如说台
Say
湾呐，国内
in
啊，
Taiwan, in
韩国
mainland
呀，
China,
这些
in
很好，我在看
Korea,
一下，
sometimes when I
他们做
watch
这
some of
些
their
这
videos,
样的现代
they
化的这个饮料哈，
they have a lot of
它第一个动
what
作就
so-called
是比如说这
modern
么大的玻璃
drinks.
杯，这么大一个杯子，
Say for example, we have
先倒上几乎一整杯
a
的冰块
glass
儿，
of this size. So
之
first
后
they
再
will
少加一
have
点牛奶呀，一点
a
什么颜色
whole
呀，一点
glass
橙
of
汁啊，
ice, and then
之
they
后
will
再拿
add
个机器
a
搅
little
和
bit
一
of
下，
a
觉得哇，可是高科技
a
太
little
帅了。
maybe milk or drink or Coke or something, and then they would crush it. And actually, they think this is a very, popular drink, but for young girls, this will really hurt your vital energy. And so it could even hurt the menstrual period sometimes. When it's time for the period, then it didn't come, but then it come at a strange time, and actually it means that your body has been hurt. And so on your forehead, on your palm, or the wrist, you will see some bluish color. You see the bluish veins that actually is very harmful. And so we'd better record our current situation or current status, and then after the practice and the chanting, we can compare. So when people have very good complexion, usually that means your forehead is shining, glowing, a lot of times even shining beautiful light, and your eyes are very clear and bright. And so these are very good in complexion. Yeah. So these are good eyes, good bright eyes. So some people, maybe because of various reasons, your complexion is not good. Maybe they're dark, or it just seems dirty. It's not that your hygiene is not good. It's just the feeling of when people look at you, the feeling is that as if you didn't wash your face. It just feels dirty. These are not good. This indicates these are not good signs. So after a few days, then we can compare and see if these has been changed, especially your, and also your hair. When your energy is good, your hair would be shining. Say, for example, in the same city, it has nothing to do with whether you're rich or not. Some people's hair are like a wild grass, very dry. Even if you put oil on it, it doesn't work. So, yeah, and it still feels dry. So the dry hair will not shine. So some young people, they comb their hair very tidy, and also the hair looks very moisturized. So, and sometimes looks oily. Maybe it's because they had very good nutrition, and so this is very healthy. So from our appearances, they can actually disclose a lot of information. I don't know if you like to hear these, so let me check your feedback. Oh, Grandmaster, some of our online friends said that they lose hair. If you just send a message, just mentioning about losing hair, I don't know the condition. Maybe sometimes when you are very stressed, then you can lose hair. Actually, stress and these pressures can actually have a lot of impact on people. Sometimes and can even cause cancer, because pressure and stress can be a very serious killer. It can cause many issues. If you like to hear these, I will disclose more. For me, these are just very common knowledge. So the eyes. Let's talk about the eyes. The 5 rings. Maybe we should show you a picture of the eye.
那我认为呢，这个眼睛之中
I
除了
think
有很
in
多
the
的
eyes,
命相、健康的秘密，
it
啊
actually
命相和健
discloses a
康的秘密
lot of secrets
还
of
有一
your
些
fate
最
and
基
your
本的
health.
健康的常识。
There are also some very basic
看眼睛
health,
哈，
not basic
把眼
knowledge
睛呢
about health. So
分
look at
五
the
个
eye.
五个圈儿
We
啊
like to
第一个
divide the eye into
就是那
5
个
rings. The
眼
first
睛的
one
瞳孔。
is the pupil.
像亚洲人多数
Ancient
这个
people,
瞳
their
就是黑眼珠这一块儿哈
pupils,
所谓
uh-huh.
黑眼珠。
So
我们现在
their
这个放的这个模
pupil,
特呢是有点黄眼珠，但是呢
this
亚洲人或者是
model's
华人，
eye
你这
is
个
not
眼珠呢也不是
completely
纯黑， 是有
black
点
or brown.
有点
This
褐色的，
ancient
黑，
people,
有点咖啡色的黑。
their
但是一般我们称为
pupil
黑
and
眼睛，是不
iris
是？
are brownish or
那中
black.
间有个叫瞳
So
孔，
in the middle is the
就是
pupil.
黑眼珠的中间有一个点，哎，那一点
So that
那一点呢
pupil
代表着生命之气，
indicates the
或者
life
是
force
元气。
energy or the vital energy.
所以那个中间这个瞳孔这个圆点呢，如果长得够圆，
If this pupil
好。
is perfectly
如果长得不圆，
round, it's very
就是
good.
可能会
If it
代
is
表着
not
你的
very
这个
round,
元气哈，
it might
元气不
indicate
太
that your
好，不太
vital
足。
energy is not
哎，对，
very
不太足。
strong.
那比如说元气不足会
Not
怎么样
good.
呢？
Um,
经常会觉
what
得
will happen if you're lack of vital
疲劳，
energy?
疲
Well,
乏，
you may
还有
feel
呢会觉得
tired
有时候
very
觉得
easily.
心脏没有力量，
Sometimes you feel your heart is
还
not
有呢
strong enough.
容易胆小。
Also, you might be very timid,
我觉得我小时候这些症状
shy,
都有，我
and
就胆子
actually,
特别小。
in
我连
my
骂都看
childhood,
着
I
害
think
怕，
I was like that. I
这
was
点儿
afraid of
对，
even
兔子能追着我
very
把我追
small
哭了啊。
insects, and if a rabbit chases me, I would cry. So
就是
at that time, I was very
这个
extremely
瞳孔
timid,
这一
and
块儿啊，那代表
so
着
the
这
pupil
个命门
indicates
啊，代表着肾
the
气，
Mingmen
元气
acupoint
啊。
and
所以这个
which
瞳孔
is the
要
gate
长
of
得
life,
好啊。
or it's
那么
the qi,
这是第一个
the
点，这
vital
中间这个圆
energy
点。
and
再
the
往外
life
放
force energy.
就是黑眼珠这一块。
And so around the
黑眼珠这一块。
pupil, it
我
is
们
the
放的这
iris.
个这个照片呢，这个眼睛呢，
The
我们知道
picture
就是我们
here
认为
of
黑
the
眼珠的那
eye,
一圈儿，那黑
it
圈儿以内这一
is
块儿啊，
like a kind of brownish or yellowish iris.
这一块儿是代表着
This circle
大约是肝脏。
indicates mostly
啊，
the
大约
liver.
是肝脏啊。那如果这个你的黑眼圈儿里头，
If
如果你作为你这个民族，你
um,
的比如说
well,
你的这
in
一块区域
your
应该属于
nationality,
大约的
like
黑色，
if most of the
啊，
people
但是呢
in
你这个
your
又不太黑，
nationality, in your
它不会有
country,
变化，
should be
不
black,
够那样的
but
深沉的
yours are
颜
not
色。
very
这
dark,
是
not
第一，第
very
二个
black,
里面有
um,
别的花
and
纹出现，
also there are other patterns
有别的花纹出
in
现。
the iris.
第三个有血丝，
And thirdly,
个
if there are
类似
like
圆的斑点，
bloodlines, or there are
或者颜色干脆
dots,
变掉了，
or the
这些
color
都是
completely
疾病
changed,
现象。
these are all
那这个
signs
疾
of
病不是与
illnesses.
肝脏有关系。
And these all indicate some
比如现在大家
illnesses
看到
relating
哈，
to
有
the
一些
liver. So
出
this
血斑
eye,
点
you can
啊，
see some
对，
dots
这
like
些问题就
bleeding
严重
dots. So
啊，
this is a very
问题很
serious
严重。
problem.
嗯，
Very
那这
serious
样
problem.
有可能
So this
有可能是癌症晚期了。
may be already the
对，大家有一
later
点这个常
stages
识
of
啊。
cancer. So these are very
所以你这个
common
这一块儿有一点点
knowledge.
气色的转化，就有
And
可能说
so
你前几天心情不愉快，
if
都是
just the
有可能
color
的。
has a
有可
little
能
bit
会在
is
你
a little
的
bit different,
这个黑
maybe
眼这
like
一
the
块
last
儿
few
会有
days
所表现。
you have had some
这
you
是
know
第二圈哈，
mood
啊，
swings
第
or
二圈我们叫肺圈儿，好吧？
so
第二圈叫
the
叫
second
肝圈儿
ring
哈，
is
啊，
what we
第三
call
圈
the
呢
liver ring, which is the
就叫做
iris.
肺
The
圈，
third
这是眼白，
ring is
眼白，
the
就是这个眼
sclera.
黑眼珠周围
So
黑眼珠周围
around
鱼似的哈
around
这个白的部
the
分我们反而
iris,
就把它称为叫眼白
it's
这个
the
眼
sclera.
白的部分呢，我们也
We
把它
call
按
it
圈来
the
分的话，
the
这就
lung
是
circle.
属于肺的这
So
一块
this has
所以
something
这
to
一
do
块
with the
这个眼白的
lungs.
部分，如果
This part,
上头有
if
比如说斑点呐，
there are some dots
不同颜色
or
的线呐，
different
那就
lines,
有可能，
then
我说有可能哈，因为在相学之
maybe,
中呢，
I'm
我
just
所
saying
学到的
maybe.
相学之中，它
So,
是复杂的。
well, I
一个是跟
learned
健康
very
有关系
complicated physiognomy.
健康之中
Ognomy.
有后载
It has
感染的
something
疾
to do
病
with
还分
health,
先天的疾病
and there are some,
还
you know,
分一种这个
illnesses from
命
birth.
相
There
和
are some
业力
illnesses
所
that
表现的
were,
内容，
you know,
还分这个。
because
甚
of
至
their
说你
life,
的
and
灵魂
then
有没有都在你的身体里，
it
很多的眼睛
also
能
has
看
something
出
to
来
do with whether your soul is in
这
your
现在我没
body
法
or
教
if
这种法太
you
神
know
秘
there like there's
说了
so
对大
many
家也也
reasons
不
and
我
it's
也不能
quite
说
mysterious, and I
对，所以
I'm
这里面
not
包含了
supposed
很多很
to
多内容
disclose. So this
所以眼
includes
白
a
的这个部
lot of
分
contents,
也
and
也
so
大概是
the
同样的哈。
sclera,
这个颜色特别的不正，你看着觉得
if
不
the
舒服
color
或
is
者里头有
not
斑点，
not
有
proper,
颜色的花
like
纹
if you look at the color, you feel
都是不
uncomfortable,
好的
or if there are
总体来说这都是不属于属于不
patterns,
健
you know,
康。
something, yeah.
所以
So
大家呢
this
听
will
后呢
indicate
听后呢
like
你呢
you're
之
not
后
very
你拿
healthy.
手机给自己
So
拍一拍，或者照着镜子，
after you hear
灯
this,
光
you
打
should
头
take
照
a
着镜子
picture
好好看看这
of
个
your
眼睛。
eyes, of your eyes, and look carefully on your
学
eyes.
诊人
So
如果
Joyce,
那个眼白有的时候还是就是很
sometimes
白，然后很
the
浑浊，
sclera is
就是
not
那
very
样的一个
white
疾
and
病的问题。
looks
当
very
然了，
gloomy.
你看浑浊的
Does
话
that
分很多
also
种
indicate
浑浊
some
呀，
illnesses?
是吧？
Yeah, so there
所
are
以你光
different
问一个浑
different
浊，可能带
kinds
有疾病，
of
我笼统说是，
gloominess.
至
Yes,
少是属于疲劳，
yes, at least that indicates
至少是
fatigue.
疲劳，就是这样。
So there are different kinds of gloominess. And sometimes
血
you
丝分
see
临时
the
性的和长期性的。
the
长
blood
期性的像
vessels,
带点
you can
黄
see
褐
that
色的
whether it's a
那个
long
血丝的话
term
就是老血
or
丝哈。
it
这
is
个
a
老血
short
丝就
term.
有了老血
If
丝的
it
分
is
体。
very
老血丝还有那个
like
血丝
it's
的
been there
形
for a
状和
long
走
time
向，
and it's kind of
不同的
yellowish,
形状和走向
and
还有颜色，它
it
代表着
also
不同的问
depends
题，
on the pattern itself.
没办法一一告诉，太
It
神秘了。
it's just so complicated and
太
so
深了，这个
mysterious
内容。
and so
所以光在眼相上
profound that
来
it
说，
would
可
be
能
so
包
hard
含大
to
于100
tell.
个内容。
Yeah, even just the feature
相
of the eyes can indicate over a hundred different
好，再接下来就
different
是
kinds,
上
yeah,
下的，
different issues.
就是眼睛的上下眼睑。
And then the next
上下
circle
眼睑哈，我们要打个
is
图片
the
看，
upper
这
eyelid
是
and the
眼
lower
睛的
eyelid.
紧挨着眼珠的上头这一条线。
So the
它并不
upper
宽哈，横在
eyelid,
这一条
it's
线，
very
和下面紧挨着
narrow,
眼睛这条
and
线，这两条
you
线
know
的感觉。
these
大
two
概我觉得那条
lines,
线的
like
宽度，
the closest to the
我们来说不超过
eyeballs,
1公分，大概在6毫米以内。
yeah,
啊，
within
算很窄的两个圈儿。
6 millimeters
分上
wide.
眼睑、下眼睑，
So it is the upper eyelid within 6 millimeters wide.
它
Okay.
是大概对应着脾胃。
These indicates or connected to the
说不了太
spleen.
清楚，
It
有人上眼皮
cannot
为脾，下眼
be
皮为胃，但是一说脾胃不和，它是一起说的。
cannot be disclosed very clearly. Usually Chinese people will say the spleen is connected to the stomach. So if you you don't digest very well, they usually say, oh, it has something to do with the stomach or the spleen. So the upper and lower eyelid, if there's problem, then it affects the spleen. So those people who always work overnight is like people who, those computer engineers or those from Silicon Valley or those agents who are working in the stock market. You know, they're like they have to look at the lines and the datas, and usually if you watch 4 hours of TV or you know videos, then you might feel tired, right? If you have like 4 or 5 computers, there are lots of lines, lots of datas, lots of numbers, and you are very you're always very, you know, very stressed and very nervous. Yeah, you always want this stock to rise, and you always hope that, oh, this stock I've already purchased, so I want it to go up. But when it goes down, then your heart will be bleeding. So you're very nervous, and you need to see it very clearly, and so it's very stressful, extremely stressful, actually. So these people, they are very likely to have very short lifespan. In Singapore, they are very well developed in finance and economy. Yeah, so in Southeast Asia, Singapore is like a financial center. A lot of all these stock markets around there have something to do with Singapore. So the people who worked in this field, in this industry, they make a lot of money, but then they don't live very long because it's super stressful. So a lot of Singapore people, they have like raccoon eyes. It's all because of working overtime, overnight. And when, if your spleen has problem, what will happen? And whenever you have problem with your spleen or pancreas, it would be very difficult to cure. And if you also do not exercise enough, and you have a lot of pressure from the work, and if you don't eat very healthy, and especially there are lots of fat and that all of these can cause, raccoon eyes, or you have puffy eyes and like the eye pouches. And so all of these, you're not very old, but you have very big eye pouches, and you because this has something to do with the spleen, right? With the digestion system. Maybe you work the whole day. If the stock actually goes up very well, maybe only 4 of you in this company, you've already earned like $20 million. And so today you made a lot of money. Say, for example, everybody get like $1 million, and then they would say, oh yeah, let's go have some good food. And so they would either go to have seafood or something, very expensive. They would think that's good food. And so they usually will also drink some alcohol, and then they would be kind of drunk. Of course, when they're drunk, they cannot go, they cannot do any workout, they cannot do hiking, so they would just lie down and sleep. So they have a whole stomach of high calorie. Not only will cause, a lot of fat in your liver, a lot of fat in your eyes, and a lot of fat in your so that's why when there are lots of fat here in your eyes, then your eyes are very puffy. And so Buddha asked the disciples not to eat after noon. And so nowadays, after dinner, if you are just too full, you cannot walk. Well, before you have dinner, you're too starving, and then after the dinner, you're too sleepy, and then you cannot move anymore, and then your whole face will be puffy. And both your upper eyelid and your lower eyelid would be puffy. And when both eyelids are puffy, this actually indicates that your kidney is damaged. And then there will be too much protein in the urines. They will manifest in your eyes. So your eyelids will be full of the puffiness, and so the puffiness comes from these, the meat and high protein, high fat, and alcohol, every day. And when your eyes are like this, not only it affects your health with your be good, your fate will also go down. The fate has something to do with your kidney energy, with your actually vital energy. When we're full of vital energy, the eyes will not be puffy, and your eyes will be bright and piercing. And so like the laser. And so this will be very likely to succeed because you have a very clear mind. When your eyes are puffy, you cannot, like your mind is not clear. And so, yeah, it's very less likely to succeed. And so Grandmaster, you mentioned about the upper and lower eyelid. So when it's dark, it can cause by fatigue or work overnight. And some people, they grow some, something on the upper eyelid. Does that have something to do with the spleen or yeah, so if they say, for example, they grow some style, I'm not a doctor, but the physicians might say this is you probably have been affected by a virus, and the virus is in the air. But the Chinese people say, Chinese doctor would say this is a kind of dampness and the poison, and it's not. It could come from stress, and it could also come from especially barbecued meat. Yeah, so you need to heed to that. And if under the eyelid there's a kind of something grow inside the eyelid, and it's very, very painful and very uncomfortable. Many years ago, I used to have that too. It's like a little millet inside the eye. But when I had that, I was able to remove it. And like this picture, you can see that she also has grown that kind of needle eye or sty. It has something to do with maybe meat and alcohol. So healthy diet is very, very important. So my online friends, if you want to have a beautiful face and less meat, less seafood, because seafood can cause allergies too, and can cause a lot of poison, because we are actually living on Earth. If you eat a lot of things from the ocean, it can cause problems. But if you are living on the earth, if you eat animals on the earth, that can also cause some illnesses, or there could also be viruses too. So every day, we need to do exercises. Maybe you think you're too old, they're not very good exercise for you to do. So these 2 years, because of pandemic, we have actually organized this energy Bagua aerobics for even seniors to do. And you could just copy the movements, and you don't have to do exactly the same. And as long as you do it, you will sweat and they will not hurt you. And some people, they say, oh, I'll do yoga or ballet, but if you do not properly, then you might hurt your, some people did yoga. There used to be people did yoga who broke their leg, and from 18 to 35 years old, yoga is fine. But when you were young, maybe you could even do splits. But after 40 years old, then maybe if you want to do splits, you might break your leg, and so you have to call 911. And so the age is different. Yeah, so you need to exercise properly. I recommend energy Bagua and energy Bagua aerobics. This aerobics will not hurt you, but will also give you a lot of a good workout. And some people say, oh, I have a dog, so I walk the dog. And energy Bagua is just walking, right? Is it the same? Like, I could just walk my dog. But when I compare them, energy Bagua is so, gives you such dramatic improvement in health, but walk your dog doesn't give that dramatic improvement. So whether you do the exercises I teach you or the aerobics that I teach you, at least you need to do some exercises, and especially you if you want your eyes to be bright and shiny and your skin to be good, the whole eye, you need to eat a very balanced diet, a lot of vegetables. So this is definitely true. Oh, what we're talking about? Oh, so we've already talked about the upper and lower eyelid. What does what do they indicate? Yeah, they connect to spleen. Oh, good. Joyce, you're a good student. So which circle is it? Oh, this is the fourth circle. And then the last one. We still haven't mentioned the fifth one. And the next one is the inner and outer corners of the eyes. So the inner corner, which is close to our nose. Well, there's a very important thing that we haven't mentioned, is the heart. If the inner corner of the eyes is pinkish, how pink it is, sometimes it's different. When the pink color is very very dark, it means that you have a lot of fire in your body, a fire in your heart. Maybe you need to, you have too much fatigue, you need to rest. And if you have a lot of heat in your heart, then you might have blurry eyes and you cannot have clear vision. It's like your energy is not sufficient, so the energy will not supply all the way to your eyes, so that's why you cannot see very clearly. So every practice that I teach, we're actually intentionally training our eyes and improving our eyes. When we're walking energy Bagua, we're looking at the tree. So that's why I'm suggesting you walking around a living green tree. This is a living tree. When we're looking at the green leaves, this is very beneficial for our eyes. If you're learning a very advanced practice, the meditation of greater illumination, you will look far away and look at a tree. This will help to improve our vision. If you have vision problems, it's very dangerous. Say, for example, you need to drive, but if you have blurry eyes, do you dare to drive? Because this is very dangerous. Not only yourself's life, and you may also hurt other people's lives. And if you don't have good vision, then when you do a lot of work, you won't be able to see clearly. So we are also intentionally training our eyesight in every one of our practice. So we're just talking about the eyes. There are already lots of secrets here, and I've only told you like 10% of these secrets. So you know the eyes are the window of our heart. When we have good eyes, then we will be healthy. And good eyes also indicates wisdom. So, Grandmaster, what are good eyes like? Yeah. So Grandmaster said today we're just going to say something generally about eyes. So the difference in eyes, bright eyes and gloomy eyes, which one is better? Of course, the bright eyes are better. So bright eyes are always better. are the eyes, yeah, if the eyes are very, very active, are they gentle? Yeah. Yeah, if the eyes are gentle, is the gentle eyes better or very sharp eyes or yeah. So if the eyes are very bright but still very stable and focused, then it's good. Some people, when you look at them, their eyes are looking here and there as if they've just been a thief. And so if their eyes are very bright and very very stable, and these people are very suitable for suitable to marry. Yeah, so these eyes indicate good fortune. And next would be the shape of the eyes, whether they have double eyelids or double fold eyelids, or and there's another kind of eyes. Yeah, maybe there's a scar on the eyes, some people. So we've just talked about bright eyes. So if bright eyes are always good. If the eyes are like very fixed, but kind of very, don't move at all. So maybe they're very attached to something, or they are not very flexible, this person. And so in these eye features, a lot of information can be disclosed. So Christine said, ladies like to be beautiful. So a lot of people think that double fold eyelids are more beautiful than the single eyelids. And so there's a surgery of, doing the cutting the so there's a surgery when people only have the single fold eyelid, then they want to do the surgery so that they can have the double fold eyelid. Would it hurt the spleen? Because eyelids connect to the spleen. Well, this is a good question. Every woman likes to be beautiful. Every man likes to be handsome. And well, women would care about this more. And if you think that double fold eyelids are more beautiful than single fold eyelid, a lot of ladies would determine to do a surgery. But in case the surgery didn't do successfully, it actually make it even worse. Yeah, so single fold eyelid, at least this is a healthy, a normal eyelid. And if the surgery didn't do well and there's a scar on the face, on the eyes, it will never completely disappear. So if you do any plastic surgery on the face, you really need to be careful. Someone wants to lift their skin on the face, and then so they will have a cut under the eyebrow. But even my eyesight is not the best, but I can still see the cut there. Yeah, so the face will seem very weird. Yeah, that's why in ancient China, they actually will print some signs on the face, and these signs will never disappear. And like Wu Song, which is in a famous movie. And there used to be also a marshal who had been a general, a prisoner before. Yeah, he was printed a mark on the face before. So anyways, doing the double eyelid surgery, would it hurt the spleen? So if it's a successful surgery, it would be better. Yeah, if you have a single fold eyelid, you have a spleen that matches this eyelid. You did the surgery on the eyelid, but you didn't cut your spleen or cut your stomach. And so your spleen and your stomach doesn't match this eyelid. So your external appearance and your internal organ doesn't match, and it can cause digestion problem or even fate problem. A lot of movie stars, they have single fold eyelids. They also are beautiful or handsome. So it depends on the media. A lot of people like me who has single fold eyelids, actually it's not too ugly, right? If everybody is double fold eyelid, it's too boring, right? And also single fold eyelids, those people, they have better temperament, and they're like more loyal. So if you want to find a husband, better find a husband with single fold eyelids. Yeah, so if they do that eyelid surgery, they can hurt their fate and also can hurt their health condition too. I haven't done any survey about it or any research about it, but I think it may hurt their health too. And another thing is our skin. Say, for example, if you rub your hand, and if you haven't put a lot of cream on your hand and you just rub your hand, and if the skin feels it's just normal. But after some time, after some practice, after some chanting, you feel your skin is smoother. And you haven't put any cream on your hands. How come you feel now smoother? So from the medical science, smooth skin or rough skin will indicate your functions. For a house, you need water supply, you have a power supply, and also the sewage system. And for a human body, you need to have blood circulation and qi circulation and energy. And when your skin is very rough and very dry, that indicates that your brain and your spine and your limbs and your skin, it's not very smooth. Some channels are not very smooth. It's just like people who have cardiovascular problem. How does people get strokes? Maybe because you took too many meat or fat, and so the brain blood vessels becomes narrower and thinner, and so there will be fewer and fewer blood pass through, but still there's a fat cell in the blood, and so it can get blocked, and then it will cause a stroke. And so between the liver and the spleen, if the liver is not very smooth, maybe there's a blockage, and that can cause your skin not very smooth. And because of the liver problem, it also causes problem of the spleen, and maybe the spleen also is not functioning very well, and so that moisture doesn't come to the skin, and then you will see that the skin is very rough and dry. After we practice for some time, all the channels are very clear and very clean, and all the supplies are reaching everywhere. It's just like the field are very well irrigated, and you can see well irrigated field, they can have very healthy plants. Sometimes when a blood supply is not going through, sometimes it has something to do with the brain, and sometimes it's because of the internal organs. Maybe the organs are like the machines. If they are not working very well, we didn't notice, and then they will show first on the skin. After after some practice, the skin is smoother. It's because this is the result of the practice. It will definitely be shown. So you need to record your skin condition after several days of chanting. You can see the difference. And the next is the sleep quality. A lot of people, the older people are, and then the lower quality of the sleep would be. And before going to university, if the little kid, they don't have any assignments, maybe they will sleep until like 4 p.m. And when they get up, other people are having dinner, supper, they're having breakfast. But to a certain age, if you can sleep after 11 a.m., I'll give you a medal, because you feel uncomfortable when you sleep too much. You need to do some housework or something. This is safe. It's because of age. Even you want to sleep, you cannot fall asleep. A lot of people, they are tired and they want to sleep, but they are tired. They're very fatigued, but they're a little bit excited, so they cannot fall asleep. And when they're working, they always feel tired. They want to sleep, but when they are really lying on bed, they cannot fall asleep. So this is also because your body needs to have some adjustment. So maybe after some practice, your sleep quality will change. And another thing is about your emotions. So before, some ladies, usually men would see that most women are gentler. But when we do some investigations, actually, ladies are not always very gentle. In the sutras, they would mention yaksha. Usually those yakshas are ladies. Yaksha ladies are very irritating. If you see a yaksha lady, then when you see this lady, it will be a big problem. So sometimes some ladies always see, sometimes when they see their husband, they always find troubles. And after a few days of practice, maybe you always see that your husband looks handsome, and it's not because he, has changed, but it just brings more joy to your mind and more wisdom to you. And so whatever you see, you feel happy, and even you see defects, you see it's perfect. And so this is the result of the practice. So there will be so many changes. So today, filling this form, it's not to show me, it's to show yourself, so that you can compare later. And even compare your vision. Maybe you can write some letters on the wall, and then at a certain distance you look at it and see if you can see clearly. And after a few days, after the practice, then you will see the difference. Well, I've said a lot about this. So now we're still on Shakyamuni Buddha's birthday at this occasion. So at this time, we're chanting in Buddha's light. And also, this happens to be Mother's Day. So Mother's Day and Buddha's birthday is the same day. So today at noon, a lady said, when Mother was still alive, I think that she's always nagging. But now when Mother passed away, now, I think, I only remember all her unconditional love. And whenever I think of her, I love her. I want to do some merits for her. And she's very sincere. Now she thinks, my mom is my Buddha. Well, my mother is also Buddha. All our mothers are Buddhas, our Buddha. And so let's chant for our mother who give us our life and also bring us up. If your parents are still alive, wish them healthy longevity, happiness, and joy. If they have already passed away, we pray that Buddha's Bodhisattvas will guide them to Eastern Lapis Lazuli world, which is, well, in short, Eastern Pure Land, or Western Pure Land, or maybe heaven. So, at home, we should be more respectful to our parents. Do not fight with them. Always listen to them, follow their instructions, follow what they say. And otherwise, after they pass away, we might regret for a whole lifetime. All right. We have already mentioned about our external appearances, and these are all given by our parents. Only our parents are well, then we can live well. So we chant for our mothers. And we are actually also chanting, when we chant for our mothers, we're also chanting for our future, for our marriage, our children. In order to have all these beautiful things, we will chant. So today, we will chant at least 40 minutes. So let's start.
Shakyamuni.
本师释迦牟尼佛。南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无本师释迦牟尼佛。
迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无 师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南 迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无 迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无 师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无 迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南 迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛。迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师 师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南 迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师。
好，大家双手合十，
All right.
恭敬感恩。
Now, please
佛
put
菩萨
your
前
palms together.
一切有缘人
Be
和佛
grateful
光普
and
照，
respectful to Buddha for the
一
blessings.
切疾病
all
消失，
Sentient beings
一切痛苦
bathing in
消
Buddha
失，
light.
一切
All
烦恼消失。
afflictions disappear. All illnesses disappear.
我在诵念的时候啊，我有很多美好
While
的感受。
I was
其中一
chanting,
个
I
可能
had
很多人
many
也有这种
beautiful
感受，就
feelings.
是口
And
腔里啊，唾
maybe
液呢
you also
就
felt
开始变得很甘甜。
one of them is that in the
有
mouth you feel very sweet.
不是那么明
Joyce, do
显
you feel
物理
that?
呢？
Not
就是
very
眼睛
obvious.
我
Oh,
就
I
眼睛觉得
feel
特别
my
甜
eyes very
啊
sweet.
也挺
Oh,
好，也挺
oh,
好。
that's good
哎
too.
对，那念佛的话，今天就正式开始的哈。
So
对，
today
我的嘴里已经觉得甘甜
is
了
the
哈。
official start
除了还
of the
看到非常
chanting.
吉祥的景象，
So you might feel
就是那个
sweet, and
天
in
空那个
addition to
光哈
see,
光特别多啊，
I
就是
also
好
see
像
lots of
好
lights
像
in the
看
sky,
到
as if
就是很朦胧的，很朦胧的，
I
也不是
saw
特别具象，你闭着眼
quite
睛念嘛
vaguely,
就是金光灿烂的佛哈，
I saw
金光灿烂的佛，
Buddha
特别像
in
我们眼前
golden
这一
light,
尊，就是
very
幽深
similar
的
to this
释
one,
迦佛
the
像
gold gilt
对，
bronze
当时
statue,
看到是朦胧
Shakyamuni Buddha
的
statue.
那个比较巨大，但是那个
Um,
大概应该有
and
5、60 米
Buddha's
那么高的
statue
那样的
was
感觉
huge,
啊，
like
就在我
50 or
们上
60
空，
meters tall,
还
right
合十
above me,
啊，
and
本来是
was
想摸出地印了哈，还合十啊，
was
对
actually
着我们这个道场这个方向这样。
palms together.
哎，
Before,
我就觉得真是
yeah,
好
in the
吉祥，
statue
好殊胜
he
哈。
his
哎，
palms was
所以大家礼
touching
佛
the
的人哈，
earth,
哎，
but
跟着
now
一起念
palms
佛
were
的人哈，
together.
真是
And
有
so
福了哈。
whoever followed the chanting today are very, very fortunate. Wow.
这是
Thank you,
大家的
Grandmaster.
大家的缘分，
This
大家和
is
佛的缘
all
分
of
啊。
your
今天无论是
karmic
在温哥华
bond
现
with
场的，
Buddha,
还是在世界各
whether
地的哈，
you are here
能
in
够来啊，
Vancouver,
就是缘分。
or
这个不是一种
you
迷信，
are
而
just
是
joining
最
this
真正的
live
科
stream
学。
over the world.
哎，
You're very
就是如果
auspicious.
从
This
最
is,
科学的角度看待一切事物哈，
yeah,
可以
if
这么
we
理
look
解。
at everything in a
说
scientific
这个时候这两个人相见，
view,
并且有缘说话，
at this time for a specific person to talk to another person, to talk together or eat dinner together. This is a destiny. If they have the destiny even to get married and have children, this is even deeper bond. There's a so there's a yeah. So after like 100 years of cultivation, you might take the same vessel together, and maybe you cultivate 1,000 years, and you can maybe have a marriage relationship, a romantic relationship, and so maybe your parents would say, "Oh, that's just a joke," but that's actually, you know, from the scientific point of view, why you become their children. It's like a bond, a mission, or later why you go to that school, or at that time go to school, and who is your teacher, and who your friends are, who your friends were in your childhood. These are actually like an arrangement, and then who you will marry and who you will be buried together. Sometimes, yeah, maybe the person you marry are not the same person that you buried together. Maybe you change someone, maybe you married again, and maybe you're buried with your second partner or something. Well, these are all like a destiny. And today, I see that this statue is, you know, just so magnificent and dignified. And not just the aura, but also the halo at the back, but also, you know, the Buddha statue on above his head. There's also, yeah, the what should we call that? The cover, like a canopy, and also there are many layers of the like the altar, and also on such an auspicious occasion. Grandmaster, could you give a brief introduction of this statue? Is that possible? Grandmaster says yes. Yesterday, we introduced Shakyamuni Buddha's, you know, life, and when he just reached enlightenment, and the first time when he taught Dharma to his first students, it's called the first, you know, turning the Dharma wheel for the first time, and that time when he was delivering teachings, Buddha's image is called lion's roar. And so this is later we also have a tantric practice also called lion's roar. And so when Buddha reached enlightenment, and when he was delivering, like turning the Dharma wheel for the first time, the ground shook, and all the heavenly beings, like they were all very joyfully and happily, they come to protect him. Before, they even tried to harm him, but now they were all conquered, and actually by his complete enlightenment. And those who like the snakes, or those evil you know, spirits, that they were supposed to come and invite him, but eventually became his Dharma protector. And so the six-tusked white elephant, and there was also a fish-like, you know, sacred beast on his side. It's actually not in this picture. Maybe you forgot to take the picture. Oh, it would be hard to find. But anyways, they were like super gods and heavenly beings, and they all became Shakyamuni Buddhas, Dharma protector. And so it is not just his personal achievement, it is like the accomplishments of this being. And he actually is not a normal human being. He was a great, sacred being from the universe, and he manifested in the human form so that it would be easier for him to approach human beings. And also he's showing every human being that if you just think like me and do things like me, then you can also reach this state. So he showed everyone this super, there's a way to reach there. So what does this look like? It has like a fishtail. Oh, maybe it would be hard for you to tell. And under there's like 3 gems. Oh, on top there's like elephant. Oh, this is like an elephant trunk. And then with the fishtail, I'm not going to let you guess anymore. This is called fish. So Capricornus, Capricorn. So this is so there's this Capricornus, and there's this star, and there's also this fish. So this is a Capricorn fish. So this is a super large world. Yeah, so this is like a big constellation, and wow, yeah. So this Buddha statue is a perfect combination. When we invite a Buddha statue to come home, then you also need to have the altar for it. Some people would just maybe you want to save some money, then you just put some books there, or maybe you use a box to be the seat for the Buddha statue, and then you just wrap with some some silk or some cloth. But it's not like not allowed. But in order for a Buddha statue to be, it's actually better if you can spend more money to on the seat or the altar of the Buddha statue. So usually the Buddha statues, usually there's only the Buddha statue left until now, especially those antique ones, and maybe the altar has already lost or something. And sometimes they only have a lotus flower there, or maybe sometimes there's only the Buddha's head, or maybe the arm, or maybe just a very small Dharma tool. Yeah, because in the history there have been so many attacks and so many events happened, and this Buddha statue was made in today's time, but it's of the highest craftsmanship. And when you see the seat, and there's the lotus seat, you can see the lotus petals. And the lotus seat is actually the seat that Buddha would use or sit on in the Pure Land. And what about the seat under the lotus seat? So this is just it is a seat actually called like Sumeru seat. So how big is a Sumeru mountain? The earth compared to the Sumeru mountain would be like just a tiny grain compared to a world. And so why do we, when we offer lights to Buddha and when we, pray to Buddha, why we can be helped so much? It's just because Buddha is so huge, and if he can feel a little bit of us and just do a tiny bit for us, then a poor man will become a general or become very wealthy, and from a very poor state will become like in a magnificent state, because Buddha's energy is just super large and just huge. And so in order, if you want to achieve great and to, if you can revere this Buddha statue, you can see this Buddha's hand is touching the ground. This kind of mudra is called a mudra of conquering the evil. And Buddha will not kill, but all these evil energy or evil spirits will immediately run away or suddenly transform or change their mind. And so whoever revere this statue, whether it is a temple or meditation center or a company, then you will be like very auspicious. Whatever, like all wishes will come true. Like the benefit is beyond words, because this is like he's beyond human realm. So. And you can also see on top of the Buddha statue, there's a very delicate canopy. All the practitioners will understand, even though we do not want anything, but before my master told me, when Buddha Bodhisattvas come or enlightened, grandmasters, wherever they go, there's always very auspicious cloud will accompany them. And so when we're supposed to welcome a grandmaster, and usually we will just look at the sky and see the cloud. So for a period of time, my master, when my master want to acknowledge me, he would also look up, and he would ask other masters to look up and see if there's auspicious cloud to accompany me. Well, you think I'm boasting, but that's the fact. So when an enlightened, auspicious being arrives, the heavenly deities will turn into auspicious canopies to protect you. So those people who know, they will be able to see the auspicious canopy. That's why when auspicious people go somewhere, when they don't have rain, then people will ask him to pray for rain, because his compassion, his Dharma power is like reaching to the sky, to the earth. He would just call the Dragon Lord to come, and he's not just giving order, but he can just easily giving the order. He doesn't need to, pray or bow and give us some wind or and when they call like bees to come, so when we it describes that, it sounds like a legend or it's like a mystery, but it's the fact. So Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, or awakened beings, wherever they go, nature will sense it. There will be the auspicious canopies, maybe bamboos will blossom, or maybe cactus will also blossom, like those plants that very rarely will blossom. Before, when we went to Korea, in one of the meditation center, so the plant a sister was planting, it blossomed, and the flower was so tiny, but it was like so long. It's about 5 millimeters. It was like very, very tiny, like it was. Yeah, and it blossoms in between one leaf. It was just beyond your imagination. This means scent is arriving. Whether that scent is me or you or anybody else doesn't know, but this indicates that a scent is coming. Recently, I purchased a pot of flowers. Have you ever heard of there's what's called Nopak Social, and I put it in my bedroom. I have some Dharma protectors statues. And then in the middle, a stem arise, and there were like dozens of flowers were ready to blossom, and they were, well, before they've never had it. Before there were only, the leaves. It's just like the bamboos were cut, but in the middle, now suddenly there's a stem. Yeah, within 3 days the stem arrived. Now it's already 5 days, and then so have you ever seen Nopak Social blossom? Very few people have ever seen, right? And not only the plants are blossoming, but also my socks are blossoming. So no, Master, your toe came out of the socks. And some sisters say, let me sew your socks. But, well, no, you can't do that. We have to allow allow us to, what should we say, to stick out, or to go, to stand out. So a lot of plants very rarely would blossom. Say, for example, sago cycas. Yeah, very rarely would it blossom. And well, a few years ago, there was a movie about
Crazy Rich.
So it's a broad-leaved epiphyllum. So epiphyllum is very beautiful. Yeah. Yeah, when it blossoms, it like a very short period of time, but the blossom is always auspicious. Oh my gosh, thank you, Grandmaster. Have you ever seen corns have flowers? Oh yeah, we had popcorns like a flower though. Popcorn. So in Chinese they call corn flower. So this Buddha statue, this lines draw 8 virtues and merits and virtues, Sakyamuni Buddha. On your right side, Grandmaster, there's Esteem virtue, Gilt bronze Buddha statue. Oh, this is a statue very precious. The Buddha statues that I'm I revered, they were like the most dignified and most precious Buddha statues in this time. And yes, when you have seen these good statues, so those statues that are not delicately built, then you don't want to see. And these Buddha statues, they have melted pure copper. And before they make it, the Buddha statue was very carefully and delicately built and was carefully polished. And according to the requirements of the sutra, they actually carved all these patterns, hand carved all these patterns, and then they would put all these gems on it. Very difficult to make, and many, like dozens of different craftsmanship has to be like different skills has to be used in making this. When you see a very exquisite Buddha statue, just automatically, like naturally, you would have that reverence. Sometimes some statues, the colors are becoming dark, then the reverence will be fewer. But when the Buddha statue is shining, then people would have more reverence naturally. And the more reverence, the more blessings the Buddha statue will bring us. Yeah. So if you really want to achieve something and allow the whole family to be prosperous and lasting prosperity, usually a family, maybe the first generation will establish, a foundation and maybe establish a good business. But the later generations to try to maintain the prosperity is not very easy. A lot of times, the later generations, they do not work very hard in making money. They just spend money. Yeah, because they're too rich. And so at this time, if we have Buddha's guidance, Bodhisattva's guidance, then naturally you have that sense of mission, and you don't feel tired. You just take pleasure in work. And I'm just mentioning about a high state of work state. A very famous Japanese entrepreneur. Actually. Yeah, so a Japanese entrepreneur. Inamori Kazuo, he mentioned about his state of work, and he actually invented something in. Well, he was just graduate from high school. He was just a graduate of high school, and later he actually took post-secondary education too, but not right after he graduated from high school. And he became the god of like management, or before at the beginning he also was like always want to get something. When he actually had a huge asset, he felt like, oh, these are all illusions. So when he got more money, he would just share with everyone. Yeah, he didn't want to have all of them. Japan Airlines are about to clothes, but he actually created a miracle to help it survive. And his way of working is like, as long as there's work, this is joy. Only these people, they will never complain about work, and they will have creativity. And he's like that. I'm just working like that. That's why he's so successful. And when I do things, I'm like that too. When I do things, I never feel tired. If I get tired, I'll maybe take a rest or sleep for a night, and then I'm not used to rest. If anyone let me rest for a year, I'd rather die. So a lot of people, when they retire, it's a big problem. It's kind of frightening when you don't have anything to do. It's like you lost your direction. When you have something to do, that actually feels, alive, and you feel meaningful, and you have joy in doing something meaningful. And so our statues, Buddha statues here, those craftsmen, they build it while they're chanting, and when they are creating the statue, they need to cover their mouth. They're so respectful because they think that our human breath will ruin these statues, so they need to wear gloves. They need to wear like facial masks. At that time, they don't have facial masks, but they will just cover with a cloth, cover their mouths. And every day they will change clothes to do such a perfect, almost perfect and dignified Buddha statue. And look at the Buddha's face. It's just so. We could only describe as perfection. It's just revering the Buddha statue is very, it's a great fortune. So I'm not going to persuade a normal people to revere it. At least on the 1st and 15th day of a lunar month, you need to offer flowers and fruits and all the and pure water, and then you can take the pure water and also the fruits, and they will be healing water and healing fruit, and immediately you will get Buddha's wisdom, and that will be definitely very helpful in achieving your success in your career. And so I also see that there's what is called like Bhumba. This is actually a Tibetan kind of like cleaning or washing bottle, or what we call Bhumba. I collected maybe 7 or 8 Bhumbas. It's actually very hard to understand what it is. It looks very strange, very narrow neck, and there is also a very small mouth. It is the original Indian type Bhumba, or the cleaning bottle. And so this Bhumba, if we take away the mouth, so this is called Bhumba bottle. In Tibet, I think the Emperor Kangxi decided, Dalai Lama, when he was trying to find Dalai Lama's incarnation, and then they just use the Bhumba bottle, and it doesn't have the handle, and it doesn't have the mouth, I think. It just has the bottle itself, but it was made of pure gold. This one is like red copper and partially gold gilded. And the handle and the mouth is the dragon head and the dragon body. So it's like a blessings for everyone. When after chanting and you put water there, the water coming out of this bottle will become nectar. So this is a Bhumba bottle, a purifying bottle. Yeah, so you know, now you understand this Bhumba purifying bottle, right? So during this chanting class, you can also prepare some food, maybe some nuts, or maybe even some mineral water, and place where you are chanting hope that Buddha light will also shine on these food. And later, when you are drinking the water or eating the food, it will help you to cure your diseases and eliminate your disasters. You will be healthy and live long. We hope that you can benefit, you can receive these sacred benefits. Actually, the benefits will arrive. And actually, if you just put a blessed food in a little bit of food, a little bit of the blessed food into a big bowl of food, maybe the next day you will start spontaneous fasting. In this chanting class, definitely there will be people who don't have to eat and don't feel hungry. So there will be people who will be fasting. So you can prepare some food, and you like rice and also nuts and maybe some sunflower seeds or fruit or pears and peach or water, or just drinking water, or you can even just use tap water. You can use the water to cook rice or cook food, and so they may bring health and auspiciousness to you, because all these blessed water, if you use them to water the plants or use them to for your fish tank, it will definitely be the best. And some people can use the water to wash your eyes. Would it be effective? Of course. I made an experiment. We did an experiment. Someone bought some green grapes, and everybody tasted, and it's so sour. So we try to change it, and so we bless the grapes, and then the grapes becomes very, very sweet, like not sour at all. The whole bunch of grapes became very sweet, and so it sounds so incredible. And well, a lot of people think, really, it's unbelievable. Well, you just listen to our class. These miracles can happen, anytime, and your illnesses might disappear. Your pain, your pain might disappear with my fan. And when I'm fanning, your pain disappear. 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 3, 2, 1. Disappear. all good.
可能
Maybe
50%的人
50% of the people who had pain before had
一会儿可以留言，
already disappeared. You
真
can
会吹牛，
tell me in the live
这
chat.
还是小吹
Well,
牛，
you think I'm boasting. This is just a
就
little
不同
boasting. We have even more later.
这就是佛给我的本事。
This is the power that Buddha bestowed me with.
那今天呢，我们的直播内容就到这里。
So,
那明
well,
天同一时
that's
间
all for today's live stream. Tomorrow at the same time, we'll continue our practice. We're not going to repeat the time. The same time to start. Come to the class tomorrow at the same time. Wish everyone auspiciousness and wish fulfillment, health and joy, happiness and joy, and
我们明天再见。
peace and at ease. We'll see you tomorrow.
"大慈大悲的佛陀，天地间最尊贵的觉者，我以至真至诚之心，感恩您的降临。是你的呵护，让我走出荆棘，是你的妙法，让我身心安康，是你的博爱，让我海纳百川，是你的大愿，让我永世追随。我愿千万次轮回，拜倒在您脚下，寒久与您重逢，承接您的法藏。我愿千万次轮回，将您的慈悲播撒，领弱者品尝甘露，让一切众生自在吉祥。是你的目光，让我看透真相，是你的庄严，让我勇于承担，是你为德，让我告别懦弱，是你的教化，让我得以觉醒。我愿千万次轮回，拜倒在您脚下，恒久与您重逢， 的法藏，我愿借万次轮回，将您的慈悲播撒，领弱者品尝甘露，让一切众生自在吉祥。是你的感召，让我弥陀知返，是你的智慧，让我欲望顿开，是你的光芒，让我点燃心灯，是你的慈悲，护佑天下太平。我愿借万次轮回，拜倒在您脚下，盼很久与您重逢，承接您的法藏，我愿借万次轮